I almost hit this person, and I was like, I don't have any brakes. They're like, why are you driving?
You're like, to go get brakes.
To get brakes.
Am I supposed to get
I'm
brakes?
on the way to get brakes. I'm getting brakes soon.
I'm going to the brake store now, sir.
Welcome to the Love, Hate, Laugh Show. This is really good.
Isn't it good?
Wow.
It's watermelon juice.
Watermelon, water, and pineapple, and it's got electrolytes, antioxidants, like watermelon.
Well, watermelon's incredibly
it.
good for you.
Try it, Bjorn.
What is it?
It's just watermelon juice, I think.
No,
in
but
a
what's
can.
the brand? Like, it's
Well, yeah, let's...
watermelon, water, and pineapple. Okay, that does sound really good.
It's so good.
It's
Like
pretty
with some
tasty.
tahini in that would be like a good
Nice.
margarita.
Yeah, you could make a good cocktail
Uh-huh.
with that. I bought a few of them. I left a couple
Oh.
at home
Nice.
because they were like warm. Not all the flavors were in the cooler.
Oh, okay.
So I got all the flavors, but the pineapple's the only one that was in the cooler.
Nice.
Where'd
So-
you get it?
New Seasons.
New Seasons?
Yeah.
I like
No,
that.
it was $4
Oh,
because New Seasons. But
I went to lunch there like a couple months ago.
and you're still paying.
Yeah, and I'm still...
You're still making the payments on that
they
sandwich.
had to do a credit check before I could even get in the line
It
for
was
the
a
buffet.
hard pull.
It was a hard
it's
pull
still on your
just
Credit
for
Karma.
me to even like pick out what I wanted on my burger. Yeah, and I had to get a cosigner for the cookies,
Oh
the
my
homemade
God.
cookies they
You
made.
had to call your mom up
Yeah.
and be like, "Hey, I'm looking to invest in some
Yeah.
chocolate.
You might
chip."
get a call. I need a reference. We're investing in macadamia chocolate chips from New Seasons today.
They're organic,
They're
just so you know.
They're really good. Really good.
You needed to call a reference.
Well, should we get this
Yeah,
officially started?
Let's get it
Yeah.
started.
Well, welcome to the Love, Hate, Laugh Show, where we talk about something we love, we talk about something we hate, and we have a good time. So I'm Paul, producer Paul, and I'll hand it off to our host.
I'm Bjorn RG. You can follow me on Instagram. Actually, all platforms, Bjorn RG Comedy.
And I'm Nick Scalzone. You can follow me on Instagram at Nick Scalzone Comedy.
Oh, man. Dude, this
Wait,
podcast.
we're missing somebody.
And then this is Hatfield.
Hatfield's back. He was
Hatfield's back.
because of popular demand.
By popular demand.
demand.
And Eliza
And
may be getting
cancellation.
COVID.
Yeah.
This is our stand-in for anyone
For
who
people
has
who
COVID.
bail or get COVID.
Well, because it just looks weird without, because the way we designed the studio, it looks super weird when you take a chair away.
Yeah, it's not a good just two hosts and producer studio
Like,
anymore.
We'd have to move too many things.
Yeah, it's a
and,
lot of moving pieces.
Yeah, so Hatfield's back, just in his undies.
Just
I
plug in bearskin.
Yeah, plug in the bearskin jock straps.
I feel like it's only been barely a couple weeks since we last saw him.
Ooh. Oh yeah, the bear puns are back.
You do bear puns
we
if
as
he's
in
on here?
Paul. Yeah, you do bear puns
Well, yeah.
Okay.
as best that you can.
I'll bear with it.
Yeah. Well, only very good ones.
Only very good
Yeah.
ones.
Okay.
Now, bear in mind, I did some spring cleaning, summer cleaning, cleaned out our studio, wrapped all the cables, made everything nice. We put in a plant. Very excited about this fake plant.
Look at that fake
Mona
plant.
Lisa. Let's call out the Mona Lisa painting that we
There it is.
that we got from. And that is a switch over there that Paul can hit.
Oh
on
yeah,
his
we gotta
desk.
turn on the
If you
shoe
want
over
to.
here, Paul.
Oh.
Yeah, turn the shoe on. Let's
Hold
get
on.
this show really going. There it is.
There we go.
Ooh.
The funny thing is, I wish this had like a dimmer switch because
Yeah, it's like too
It's
bright. It
too
just
bright.
washes out in the picture.
that's the only problem with those is they
Eh.
kind of just totally wash out. It's a cool idea, but
It's fun.
yeah,
It's fun.
I'm very excited about how this podcast studio is coming
Oh
together,
yeah, I
so-
like it. I like the color scheme. I think it's a good step up from the old studio.
It is.
The old studio was very like
basement.
basementy.
And
Well,
this
it
is
was
like-
in a basement, and now this
Yeah.
one is like up on a floor.
Yeah, it's like we have an elevator to get here.
Mhm.
It's real fancy.
We stepped our
Little bit of a
podcast
janky elevator.
OCs up.
Oh yeah.
The elevator is janky. Where the buttons are is dented in. Like
Yeah.
somebody kung fu kicked the fucking buttons.
I assume
At
that
some point.
someone was moving something and just.
I
bumped
like
her.
my
No,
idea
I
better.
think it was definitely there was
I
a
think-
fight
yeah.
that ended up on the elevator. It was like the Family Guy chicken fight type of situation.
Yes.
There is this. It is interesting, and I want to. You know how like there's like you see something and you want to do something really weird. Whenever I see that,
No,
I
Bjorn,
wonder.
I need you to elaborate. So whenever you see something, you want to do something weird.
It's like
I
when you
need you
see
to-
something and you're like, wonder if my wiener would fit in that.
I
Oh.
don't think
You
that.
never see that. You never see something and wonder.
Do I have to do a
No,
wiener
I
count this
know
episode?
roughly how big my wiener is.
Okay,
And
we're
you're
up to
just
3.
like, we're
So
already
it's
up to
just
three.
I don't intend to make it fit anywhere. It either fits or it don't, and
You've never seen a hole and just like,
You'd never survive as a gay man.
I wonder,
no,
or like a toilet paper roll or a
no, that seems dry.
or
I've gotten a
or
paper
a paper
cut.
towel roll.
I've gotten a
paper
paper cut
towel
on a
roll.
part of my body that doesn't hurt more than the rest of my body when it gets injured. I don't need a dick paper cut.
Well, for some reason, whenever I've looked at
whenever
that,
you see a paper towel,
yeah. Well, I already know if it. You never put.
no, I never did that. That's not a place
You just want to know if it peeks through the end or not.
of an entire paper towel roll.
no,
I know the answer to that as well.
I know that.
I don't want to be
The
disappointed.
paper towel roll, but I mean like the toilet paper roll. You want to know how much?
No, I
how
can
much
find
shows?
that out with a ruler.
He uses engineering to figure that out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's math. Your
I'm-
phone has a measurement tool. You can just scan and see how long one thing is, and scan and see how long another thing is, and then it's subtraction is
measure
is the
twice,
function
cut
on,
once, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what they.
Well, whenever I see that concave button thing in our elevator, I wonder if it is the same shape as my butt. Like I wonder if I could sit in it and it would be a perfect fit. Because
Well, I'll let you continue pushing those buttons for me.
I don't know why that's been a thought. I have not tried it. I just like to wonder, and I think of it almost every time I get in the elevator.
You're just like, is that the same?
Is that the size
You know,
of my butt?
math. You could solve that with
I
mathematics
could.
too. I think you should.
But trial and error is just so much fun.
But how do you properly
I
know
did-
without doing a proof?
I did one time back.
I think you need to do a geometry proof. Like, remember proofs from high school? Where you're like, if this is true, and this is true, and this is true,
Therefore,
and this
is true.
then this can't
Well,
be false.
I did try one time. I was riding the elevator with me
Science.
and my dogs, and I tried to back into it to see, but not, like nonchalant. The weird thing is, I ride the elevator primarily alone, and I could try this, but for some reason, I don't. I just like to wonder. You know, sometimes you got to sit and wonder.
It just that's a good little mystery to
Mhm.
keep you going through the day. That keeps you coming
That
back to
keeps me
work.
coming back to
That's
work.
the thing. You're just like
Maybe
another day. You
today's
just
the
get in the
day.
elevator and you're like,
So you think to yourself, what a wonderful world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get into it. Let's get into love hates. Paul? Who do you want to go first?
I think we start with the love.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I brought something that I love, or at least am interested in right now. I bought a book, and I love the book Countdown to Zero Day by Kim Zetter.
Okay.
I found the book.
Is this a fiction-y, a non-fiction?
No, it's kind of like a book about a real thing. So it's like a documentary, but a book. There's probably a good word for that, but I'm dumb.
biography.
Like a mock
No, it's not really
dockery.
It's not really a biography. I guess it has elements of biography because it's talking about various people.
Oh, a bio book.
Or is it like a this is a possibility book?
No, it's an account of like an event.
Okay.
It's more like a book about a historical event.
Oh, so this is like an event that
yeah,
happened.
this is a thing that happened.
Okay, so this
So
is
I
fiction,
discovered it-
or nonfiction.
Nonfiction. Yeah, I
Nonfiction.
discovered the book from a YouTube video because I get like videos about like coding stuff
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
random shit in my YouTube. So this book is about the first ever cyber weapon.
Oh.
And
okay.
so what happened is back when Bush was president and then when Obama was president, they developed like a team in America and a team in Israel worked together to develop a virus that they could discreetly upload to computers in Iran that would make its way around and find computers that were running centrifuges in a nuclear, like a uranium refinement factory,
Wow.
and make them break. And so they found a way to like fuck up Iran's nuclear program without like anybody getting hurt.
So this is like an account of
This is
that
an account.
actual event.
Yeah, but it's an account of like they got caught.
Oh, so it never happened.
So no, it did happen, but it got caught, so it's not still happening. But this is an account. It starts out with like some dude working in like some random like malware company in Belarus or whatever, or like anti-malware, and they keep getting these computers from Iran that are like fucking up or have like this weird malware.
Yeah.
And they start digging into it, and then they're just talking about how all these people dug into this thing and figured out what they were doing, and they were like, holy shit, this is like a really good virus. And so they were like, I think this is not just some guy in a basement. Like, this is a government.
This is like a legit.
Like, this is legit as hell because it was like it was really sophisticated. Like, the way it got in the computers, like, it had to be on a thumb drive. But it was discrete. Like, it didn't show up on the thumb drive. And the way it got in is when a thumb drive gets plugged in, it runs a certain format of a code to display the icons for the different types of files.
Okay.
And this code was uploaded as that format. So it would auto-run everything of that format to display the types of files, and it would infect the computer. And then it would just kind of zoom around looking for if they had it was a Siemens brand PLC, process logic controller.
Paul knows a lot about Siemens, right?
I
So
mean,
do I.
I knew that joke was coming.
It was
The Germans should have thought
was
about
coming.
that.
Seaman joke was coming.
It was. It was coming hard.
Too close.
So I'm fascinated with this. So then
I'm
what
too.
happens?
It's cool. So anyway, basically all the virus did was like look through the computer and see if it had this specific software.
So if it didn't, then it didn't.
If it
do
didn't, then it
anything.
just kind of hung out.
Okay.
But it waited any time like another computer got connected, it would spread to that. It was called a worm. Apparently, that's a worm.
So is this as far as the storytelling, is the book written from a this is what happened factual, or is it like a dramatization of the real events?
No, it's like this is what happened factual, but it follows like different people, and it kind of talks about their history.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting for me since I'm like working on a computer science degree and like really starting to really look into, getting into computer science jobs. So it's like that's been interesting, like learning these people's career path into doing this, and that's cool. So it kind of digs into the people involved a little bit, and I'm only a little ways into the book. It's very detailed.
Yeah.
But the high level that I learned from YouTube of like the entire thing was that they figured out the virus. They had to stop because like they got caught.
They got caught. So are you at a point where were there any repercussions because they got caught?
No, I don't think there really were. I think Iran already didn't like us, so they were just
what are they
like,
gonna do?
they were like,
upset.
You guys are on our extra shitty list.
yeah, exactly. Iran did not change their stance on Israel.
Yeah, well, there
They
you
were
go.
like,
There
we
you have
still
it.
don't like you. And we were like, yeah, well, we still don't like you. And I think that's still how it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there you go.
But yeah, it was cool because what the virus did when it did find the PLC is there were a bunch of centrifuges, which are just a spinny thing that makes the uranium into uranium that can blow up. I don't really know.
Yeah.
It spins and refines the uranium into enriched weapons grade shit.
Yeah.
And what the virus would do is every like so many minutes it would just make that thing spin too fast for a minute. And then it would go back to regular, and it would make it spin too fast for a minute, and it would wear them out. And so a whole shitload of these things started just breaking.
Wow.
So they just broke the factory and made it not as good.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a cute way of doing it.
It is.
you
It's
know?
like, and it's such a it's sneaky.
Yeah. Because nobody
It's
really
like
gets
Nobody
hurt.
actually got hurt. Like
Like,
somebody
There
probably
weren't
got
any
yelled at.
blackouts or anything.
it's like-
There were some engineers that got yelled at, but other than that, it was
It's like you had like a Corvette in the garage,
Mhm.
and you had like someone just send their teenager out with it every once in a while just to
Yeah.
mess up the engine
exactly. Someone
and like
just
destroy the tires.
does a burnout every now and then,
yeah.
and it's like,
Well,
yeah.
Or it's like the penny in the phone trick, where you just
Yeah,
make it
Oh,
a
like,
little
it's Dwight.
heavier.
It's Dwight and Jim.
It's a so
but
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
America.
the U.S. was fighting.
we kept putting pennies in Iran's phone until Iran hit itself in the
Said,
fucking
Wait a
face.
minute, this is wrong. America, and America's like, haha.
America
Always do
looks
this.
at the camera, looks into the
Yeah.
camera.
America was doing that, and Israel Pam, just kind of
Israel
like
Pam.
giggling about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's cool.
That's awesome.
The other cool thing is like some of the stuff they're talking about, like the detailed computer shit.
Yeah.
I actually understood it, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's cool,
That's
because I would
validating.
not have understood that shit a year ago.
So the money towards your schooling is worth it.
Yeah,
What was
totally.
the name of the virus again? Did it get
Stuxnet.
Stuxnet?
Yeah, it's a Stuxnet. It's on the cover.
Stuxnet.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So yeah.
Yeah,
So
you're
if
not.
you just Google Stuxnet or go on YouTube, like there's some videos
Yeah.
that will tell you everything you need to know, and you don't have to read a
Yeah.
big book.
Well,
But
so actually, it's not a dead virus because Apple bought it from them and they release it on phones, so you have to keep on upgrading your phone every freaking year because it just gets a little.
It just
it's-
destroys
makes
the battery.
every now and then it
A
just
little
makes the battery
slower.
spin too
Yeah,
fast.
so any government officials out there, please look into Apple
Honestly,
using Stuxnet.
I
Stuxnet.
did read
phones.
something that I was like that because I couldn't understand. And I really do believe that there is something that they do with those updates.
Yeah.
Like with the computers where the new software requires more power.
Oh,
So
it does.
So the batteries on the computer dies
Like
quicker
obsolete.
because it's trying to run this more
I think
advanced software.
actually what it is,
I don't know if that's done deliberately or not.
It is, but I think, and I don't know this for a fact, but I think what it is the hardware gets more sophisticated every year. And so the hardware is just so much more powerful, and they're
Yeah.
going to optimize whatever the newest version is to run on the best
Right.
hardware, so that if you have the best hardware, your shit is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with that is now it's a little more resource, like, it needs more resources.
What do you mean by that?
So, like, the chip
more
in my
power.
phone only has so many
Yeah.
transistors that can go so fast. The chip in your phone's newer than my phone.
Yeah.
It has more on and off switches.
Oh,
So your phone
So
won't be
your-
able to handle
Your
some of the
phone
stuff.
can run software faster than my phone.
And is that happening? Is it becoming obsolete quicker now?
No, it's actually starting to slow down, I think.
Okay.
I've been
'cause-
reading articles that Moore's law is no longer really valid or realistic, because we're starting to run out. I guess we're starting to run out of space
Mm.
on a chip that we can realistically use. Like they
Oh.
have to make a breakthrough, because we've packed transistors onto a chip at this point in about as dense of a as
okay.
densely as we can.
Does that
Moore's law is named after Gordon Moore, one of the Intel founders.
Okay.
And originally, fact check me, Paul, I think it's every 6 months, but it might be every year. The law was that computing power doubles every 6 months or every year. Like the speed and power of a CPU or whatever.
Oh, okay.
That's possible.
So yeah, in 1965.
Oh, every 2 years.
Yeah, every 2 years.
Okay.
Number of transistors in an integrated circuit doubles about every 2 years.
Because I always thought it was weird. Like the laptop that Paul's on right
Mhm.
now, that one's from 2015, and I got the most powerful computer I possibly could in 2015. That was like the MacBook Pro, totally
Yeah.
maxed out, and it lasted me until, honestly, the thing that really I had no complaints with it except the battery. That was the only thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think now I feel like lately all the programs that I run simultaneously are just zapping my battery like it faster than it can charge, and I don't know what that's because even if it's plugged in, it still doesn't. It drops it to 0, and then all my programs run slow, and I don't understand. I don't know why. I'm just like troubleshooting. I'm like, Nick, can you fix my computer?
Yeah, I don't actually know that much about that stuff, but yeah, I would imagine.
Because if it's at a full charge,
yeah.
I can run all the programs just fine. But then like it's all the Premiere and After Effects and like all the stuff or Audition,
like
all the stuff I do for the
Adobe,
podcast.
A bunch of Adobe software at the same time.
I'll be kind of running them at the same time because you kind of have to because they run anyways. They just run really slow and they just destroy my battery on my new laptop.
Yeah.
But this laptop had no problem except for the battery. That was the only thing. And
so even when it's plugged in, it zaps the battery?
Uh-huh.
That's weird.
And it doesn't charge while those programs are running because they're so they require so much, I think. I don't know.
So you have to like make sure it's at a full charge and then quick get it done because they zap your battery.
Yeah, I learned that. I was like, oh shit, that's what's happening. Because if it drops the battery to 0, then I've even started running the laptop closed and then I run it on a monitor.
Yeah.
So then it's, anyways.
Fascinating.
But
riveting.
I know this is so good.
Riveting.
This is what else is boring?
What
else is boring?
What else is boring?
Yeah.
I just am fascinated by the fact that like I feel like I have to replace. Like I'm already ready to replace my computer, and I just replaced that one.
Dude, you should replace it with a desktop, like the Mac Mini
That's what
or
I've
Studio.
been trying to say. I want a desktop so bad.
Like get one desktop and then keep your laptop for laptop-y shit, but use the desktop for that because the desktop is built to be hardwired.
Yeah,
into the
that's
wall.
true. I probably should be running. I'm probably just.
You know what that probably is? I'll bet you it's somewhere
and
in
there's
the
probably
laptop.
more than fucking 4 inputs on that thing.
No, there's probably 5. But no, I bet there's somewhere in the laptop's like operating system code. Like there might be some code for laptops that because it's like meant to be run off a battery, it probably has like it directs the power in a specific way. That might make it less optimal for what you're doing than a desktop.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's the best configuration for porn?
Yeah, for porn.
For
running.
What's the best computer for whacking?
Multiple porn sites at the same time.
For whacking.
I'm trying to run onto 19 monitors.
Could you imagine? You're like, my computer's running slow. What programs are you using?
I mean,
Pornhub?
I have seen Pornhub
Chrome.
employees post on the CS career questions subreddit. They're like, hey, would it? Or like people who got an interview there, they're like, how do I? This seems like a legitimate tech company that would have like major software. Like they get insane traffic.
I'm
like
sure.
You would have to actually do some pretty cool software engineering to handle that. All those loads.
All those loads.
But they're like,
camera.
They're like, but what do I put on my resume if I worked at fucking Pornhub?
Yeah.
So I've
I
laughed
think they
at that
have a
one.
parent company.
Yeah.
They do. They have like some random name.
Yeah.
That was the answer. Is they're like, yeah, well, you don't call it Pornhub. It's called like
it's got a
it's
parent
got some
company.
name.
We're gonna find out.
Like
okay, good. You're in the size 10 email search.
Mind.
yeah,
that's what
a little
it
bit
is.
more appropriate.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
you worked
like,
for
Mind
Geek.
Geek.
Okay.
Mind Geek.
I loved that thing. Like
How hard was it?
Yeah.
Hard as a rock, dude.
Do you remember when they put a bid on a stadium?
No. I think I remember something about that, but I don't remember.
There was
where
like
it was
I
or
don't
anything.
remember where it was. It was like somewhere in the South or something. There was a stadium, a football stadium that didn't have a name or like lost. Like U.S. Bank or whoever was just like, yeah, we're done. This is too expensive. And Pornhub put a bid, like, and outbid everybody by millions.
That's fantastic.
And then they made it public because it was denied, obviously. Like, they were like, no, we're not calling it the Pornhub Arena. Like, there's
was
not
it one of like
happening.
the one of the
Bang
big
Bus. It was Bang Bus.
the Bang Bus Arena? Oh, I feel like that'd
not
be
doing that.
that would have to be in southern Florida. I feel like that would be appropriate.
Alabama. I think.
I just
Alabama
thought
or
that was
Ole
so
Miss.
funny.
That would work. That would work.
All right, should I do my hate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bjorn, what do you hate?
I, Bjorn RG, hate bad parking. Like when you park shitty, you know, when you see some, like, there's different levels of it.
Yeah.
It's like parking over the line and there's not that many spaces. So then I have to kind of park over the line. And then that asshole leaves and then I look like the ass clown that did it. And then people would maybe scratch my car or something. It's like, I hate that. I hate that. I, if there's a spot like that, I will park further away. But I hate when that's the only spot left. Is
when
the one
the only option is the one that if you could stand there and justify your park job and be like, hey, but you should have seen it when I got here.
When I got here,
Half an hour ago, I parked perfect, dude.
Well, like this happened to me today. I was in a parking lot and two cars. One was a truck that was just kind of like, it was a big truck in a little spot.
Usually a truck is the start.
It's sort of the start of it.
That's the start of it.
And then someone had just kind of like, they turned in, but they were kind of at like a weird angle. And then, so they both were, and there was two spaces. And so it was kind of like the lesser of two evils. So I just parked really close to the angly one.
Yeah.
Because I felt like, I mean, it was like, I don't know, like a Buick or something.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, they're not going to scratch my shit. The truck probably will scratch. They'll be like, hybrid. I'm going to scratch some shit into this thing.
Yeah.
Like, and so I kind of picked, and I just parked really close. And it's like, I mean, they probably, if they had a passenger, they're not getting into their car. But I could get out because they were at a slight angle.
Yeah. I did used to enjoy, back when I had my old Corolla.
Yeah.
Like just an old beater of a car. I did enjoy punishing bad parking.
Just
That's
by
one of the
parking so close.
Yeah, just
I
park
would
like
do that
a
with
brick.
my
Who
truck
cares?
too.
Yeah, if
where I
you've got
didn't
like
care.
a shitty car that you don't mind if it gets a couple dents, because it's like it's arguably it's just gonna push out one of the existing dents and make it better. So like, yeah, those were fun to just punish bad parking.
The other one is you can't really like punish this. It's like when somebody I've witnessed people do this, like there's like a parallel park situation, and they park in the middle of it, and two, maybe even three cars could have parked there, and they park in such a way that prevents
That like they leave about 80% of a smart car on either end of their car.
Yeah, like,
and you're just like, you could have just backed up and left 3.5 feet behind your car, and then a whole nother regular car could have been there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is that kind of like when you have a wall of urinals and you're taking a piss, and instead of finding an appropriate spot to pee at, they decided to pee right next to you?
You go right
In
next
a
to
way.
him.
Yeah, it's like 8 urinals, and you're the only guy, and then some
You
like
go
dude
right
is
next
just right next to you.
spatial,
Yeah.
intelligence whatsoever. So
Yeah. I've literally, like, one time we were sitting at I think it was at Neighbor's Tap Room, and I was just like looking across the street at one of our neighbors, and they took a really long time to then take up, because parking there in our neighborhood is like not.
It's worse than in my neighborhood.
There's not a lot of parking, and it's like you're gonna park. There could have been 2 cars there, and now there's definitely only gonna be your car with like, like you said, like 2 Fiats on either side could maybe park there.
Yeah.
I mean, this happened to me just the other day. I was parked. I left my office, came back, and there was where my car used to be. There was a Mini Cooper, but I couldn't park behind it because then I would be like in the street, and I couldn't park in front of it but if they had just pulled up a little bit, I could have parked behind them.
Yeah.
Or backed up a little bit, and I could have parked in front of them.
I'm
and
very
they definitely
conscientious
took
of
up
this.
so much.
Yeah, I think about this a lot because I have a truck in a dense part of town.
Mm-hmm.
And so I try very, very hard to park on an end. Like, I try to be, like, wherever the parking sign is, I try to either be up at the front or up down at the back.
Do you have a hitch on it, like a ball?
No, I don't. But the reason I do that is because if I can bookend then there's no time where I've parked in the middle
Yeah,
and ruined it. Because my shit is like one
you got
and
the limo.
I've got like 1 1/3 cars worth of car.
Yeah.
And so if I park in the middle of a line, I ruin it, and then
Yeah.
someone else parks like a prick, just parking nice, but then they look like a dick, or I look like a dick.
Yeah.
Usually me. And I mean, yeah, it's kind of part of having a truck, I think, in a town.
In a city, yeah.
It's a big, stupid car to have. But yeah, I pay a lot of attention to that because like I've noticed if I can park on an end,
Yeah.
then I never look like an asshole. But if I park in the middle, 100% of times, you end up with half a car's worth of space somewhere.
Yeah.
And I always look like a prick.
That reminds me of when I lived in Minneapolis. There was we had in our apartment this like first come first serve parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
There were no lines or anything. It was just behind the building. We were just allowed to park back
Yeah.
there. And there was a way in which the most optimal amount of cars could fit. And there was always like one person totally screwing it up. But like it was kind of intense because there was no way to turn around. So literally everyone had to back out, and then you had to back down this single lane very steep road where winter does happen.
Yeah.
Very much so. Actually, that in that space at one point I got snowed in, and they don't plow back there or anything.
Yeah.
So like in the winter, it was like I remember one winter I went like 4 months. My car was completely like my truck was completely
It was
stuck
just there.
And then when it did melt, I went and my brake line had broken. Because I remember I was like, I turned it on and I like pushed on the brakes and I just saw brake fluid just like squirt out.
And you're like, well.
And my brakes went straight to the floor and I have to back up
Man.
with no brakes. Like there's no tow truck is getting
Yeah.
back there. But it was a stick shift. So I worked my magic and just like used the engine.
The
to,
engine and the clutch.
I engine
you
and
just
clutch
burn
to
the hell out of your clutch.
to back out, and then I actually drove it all the way to a place,
Damn.
and got it fixed. I do remember a pedestrian stepping in front of me, and I was like, "Oh shit, I have no brakes," because I'm like using the gears to like downshift
Yeah.
to slow down, which I could do for lights, but not like a quick.
Yeah.
And I like
yeah,
almost hit this person, and I was like, "I don't have any brakes." They're like, "Why are you driving?"
yeah. You're like, to go get brakes.
To
dude.
get brakes.
The fuck am I supposed to get
I'm on
brakes?
the way to get brakes. I'm getting brakes soon.
I'm going to the brake store now, sir.
I'm on my way to the brake store.
No, I remember at Montana State, like whenever we'd get a big snow,
Yeah.
the parking lots immediately, like, because I used to commute to school, immediate anarchy.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Oh yeah, because it's like where there's no lines.
because the
there's
lines
no,
disappear under
things.
6 inches of snow.
there isn't
and
like
so
at the
everyone-
ski area. There's not like people out there with cones and like
Exactly. Well,
directing. Be like park like not an idiot.
It is. It's like a ski hill, but with no. The
No
ski hills.
attendance.
Yeah, the ski hills are like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
They got tons of people pointing and like being like, "No, park closer." But like, yeah, everybody would leave like 3 times or 2 times the normal amount of space
Mhm.
between cars. So all of a sudden the parking lot's full
Yeah, with
at
with
like,
like half the
half
vehicles.
capacity. I remember I was like, I kept joking around. I was like, yeah, I think this is why, libertarianism is a nice idea, but you need a few rules.
You need
like,
a couple of rules.
There need to be some rules because look at what happens.
Yeah.
Now we can't fucking park, and I paid $180 goddamn dollars
I just.
to park in this
Oh,
lot.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, they
parking
were
lot
pricey,
is
those
not
fucking parking
cheap,
lots.
But
Yeah.
I do also remember with my old truck, that old truck that had all those things.
Mhm.
I also what I did love about it is I kind of didn't care, and so like
Mhm.
I could do kind of wild things like
Yeah.
that where it was
Park
like
on a hill. It's like put
I
one
would-
tire up on the curb type of shit.
but I would also like do things like I got good at parallel parking because I didn't care that much if I hit the car.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like that
The
moment
other
where you're
car
like,
or your car?
yeah, where you're like you turn the wheel and
Yeah.
you're like, I don't know what kind of front end swing I've got. Like, am I gonna make it? Because a real tight spot, you're swooping it, and you don't know. I don't have cameras.
But I'm not concerned about that for my car. I'm
It's the
concerned
other part.
about yeah,
Yeah,
because I don't want a note.
that's true.
Yeah.
But I just
Yeah, I would be more concerned about that with my junkie car.
I guess I just like
Because they're just going to be like, this fucking guy has no money. It's a shitty car, and he's going to fuck up my car.
Have you ever had someone leave a note on your car?
Yes, and I've
Really?
left a note on the car.
What did it say?
Oh, I think the last note that someone left was the guy who thought my catalytic converter had gotten stolen.
Right.
Okay, I don't think I actually have had a note of like I bumped into your car. Maybe I did once in the Subaru. I think I did once in the Subaru, but I looked and there was nothing. I was like, yeah, who cares? And then I bumped somebody's car parallel parking one time on the way to a mic, like 4 years ago or whatever. And I left a note, and the guy texted me, and he was like, hey, I didn't see anything. Thanks for being honest. And I was like, word.
Oh.
Cool.
Have you heard about crypto?
I should have just been like, hey.
That would be such a brilliant sales tactic.
What, thanks for being honest? And
Well,
then you're
no,
just like,
no, like leave a note with your number on it, and then when they reach out, then you pitch them your MLM.
you know what? That's going to backfire immediately because someone else is going to have hit them and caused real damage
Yeah,
and hit
then
and
you're
ran.
like,
And
"Ooh."
then they'll be like, here he is. He told me who he is. And then you're going to get dinged with an insurance bill that you didn't even.
True.
Yeah.
That's true. I guess my business idea is not good. All I remember, I'm trying to remember one of the notes that I got one time was, it was like from a neighbor when I lived in like a neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying that the space that I parked in front of their house, and they said that was their space, and to no longer park there.
Well, that's not how street parking.
And I
you're
was
like,
I need to respond to this.
I don't know if you know who pays for these
It was
spots, but it's all of us.
and they had something about they're like they said that they were handicapped, and that's why they had that reserved. And I was kind of like, yeah, but it's not a handicapped parking space.
If it doesn't say reserved,
It's just literally in front of both of our houses. I was parked just slightly more in front of their house and not in front of my house. I just never did it again. I actually did. Now that I'm thinking about it, I did listen to it. I never parked there ever again. But it's still kind of just like a shitty,
I would have demanded a sign.
It is annoying.
Prove it.
I feel like I'd have done the same thing you did because it was like one of those things where it's like, is it worth like having
my shitty
is it worth
neighbor
becoming the Hatfields and the McCoys?
Yeah, well, I remember
It
Yes,
is.
it is.
those
You're
neighbors
gonna throw
would
down
just,
with your handicapped neighbor.
Yeah.
Just be like, fuck you, I want this parking spot. Wheel your ass to the other side of the road.
it was the kind of neighbors where you could hear they're fighting all the time.
Oh boy!
They're
So
just
you
they're
were like,
loud fighting from my room. I could hear.
Was it like a couple that hated each other or something?
Yeah, I don't
And
know. I didn't know what the situation was. I was like, maybe like a mom and a son, or like I don't know, or they were married. I have no idea.
Fuck you, Mom. I'm gonna park right in front of the house.
Like it was just like
You always turn me on when you yell at me, son. So it could be
I don't know. I never asked. They were all, sometimes you're just like, they're both
It's
older.
like the less I can talk to these people, the better. I'm
No.
just gonna listen.
I mean, I just listen
I'll just
to them
park across the street.
scream at each other.
Yeah.
all the time.
It's like I know too much already.
Well, also it was like, do you go to work? Because you're at home screaming all the time. Like all the time. You have a day off. You're like, really?
Just enjoying the
It's
retirement.
a Thursday. It is 1:00 on a Thursday. You have time to just scream at each other. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I just felt like I was like, I didn't. Also, I could see what their McDonald's order was because that's what they wrote it on the back of.
What did they order at McDonald's?
It was a lot of food. I do remember trying to do this as a stand-up bit. Like I took it to a show. And I was like, I'm going to turn this into a material.
That's
and
hilarious. So
I
you just rolled in, you're like, my neighbor, what a fat fuck, look what he ordered. 17 Big Macs. Jesus Christ.
I think it might be in
What a
one of my
tub of
old
shit.
comedy notebooks. I feel like I still have it, probably.
I want to know what he ordered now.
I
want to hear the bit. What was your
I
bit?
don't even know. I just went up on stage, read the note, and talked about how my neighbors fought or something.
You're just like,
and
my neighbors are
made fun of them.
yell at each other and eat too much
And
McDonald's.
just eat this, and it's like a soup, but it's a pretty like substantially long.
Like, do you think
like there's not a survey on it or
Had
anything.
they watched some of those videos and they were like, "Oh, dude, if you take a McDouble and a McChicken and put it together, you get a fucking McDouble
Dude,
chicken."
what's your McDonald's order?
I
You go to
usually get a
McDonald's. What do you get?
quarter pounder with cheese.
With cheese,
Yeah.
or just quarter pounder, no cheese?
No, I get the
That'd be kind
regular
of a fun.
No, just the regular
Quarter pounder
with
with cheese. That's it. No fries.
Probably fries, and then like
Coke.
no, I don't really do soda.
Oh,
if
you
I
don't?
No, I don't. I don't do.
You don't.
I don't do.
When
soda.
did you? Oh my God! When did you get sober? Soda sober.
Yeah, I'm
sober clean.
I'm soda sober. I still
Soda
drink.
sober.
I do still drink loads of beer, but all
Ooh.
that sugar, that's the killer.
Still taking loads
It's
of
the
beer.
silent killer.
Right to the no.
Oh, yeah. Anywhere they'll go. Yeah, I'll take. I just dump beer right on my
Dump
tits.
beer.
No, but I don't really.
Just not in my hair tonight.
I just don't do soda.
I don't do soda. Then you
Yeah.
just get water.
Yeah.
Or Powerade. You could get
but
Powerade.
I
Blue
will
Powerade.
completely contradict myself here.
Or the weird.
I'll get
drink.
a milkshake all
Oh, a
fucking day long.
milkshake.
Ooh, nice.
So I'll
Yeah.
save the 150 calories
Paul,
from the
look
soda
it up.
and get 500
Which has
fucking
more
calories.
calories?
What, a soda or a
milkshake.
milkshake?
Soda or
A
milkshake?
milkshake.
No,
It's
it's
like
a milkshake.
600 calories of solid
No, it's
sugar.
probably 1,100 calories.
It's go a size medium.
I'm
I
curious.
think it's a fuckload. I've looked it up before.
I'm
it's
very
an
curious.
obnoxious amount.
Okay.
I stopped ordering them when I saw how many calories. I was like, that's so many. I can do this like once a year. You're
Like,
taking a year
to
off your
wash?
life.
630 calories.
Yeah, see, I told you.
Okay, and then what would
that's-
a medium Coke?
Well,
Yeah.
Diet Coke would be like not much at all, but let's say medium.
Yeah,
Medium
just-
McDonald's
Oh.
Coke.
I would guess, let me guess, 170.
I put cock.
McDonald's.
Sorry,
just a
I'm
medium
used
Coke.
to that's
So
how
much cock.
my fingers just like auto type that.
200.
210.
No, 210.
What was
you
the?
know what I say? So three
630.
times-
Literally
Three
three
times.
times the
I
calories.
think worth it every now and then.
Worth it?
Every now and then, yeah. Now, I will say Wendy's, getting a Frosty every time.
Mm.
I don't eat that much fast food, so like
But
if
the
I
Frosty's
do,
small.
it's because I've been like thinking about it,
Yeah,
like for a week
you've
or
been
two,
craving it.
and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna fucking get Wendy's, dude.
Yeah.
I'll go for a walk later.
I like it.
Getting a Frosty.
My I've been going to McDonald's lately because I can't have red meat anymore.
Mm.
And so Taco Bell's off the menu, pretty much. I mean, I can do
Mm.
chicken things, but like,
What's the red meat thing?
the gout that I have?
Oh, it gives you gout.
yeah,
Red meat is what gives you the gout. What?
yeah,
What
or
out of red meat?
or organ meats. It's like this. I
There's
forget
too
the
much
acid.
iron or some shit.
There's something in it. It's like
Huh.
it's the disease of kings. I have it's like too much wine, too much fancy cheeses, and like elegant meats. it's like
Interesting.
how did I get this? I don't
So
know.
you-
So it's uric acid.
Uric acid, thank
Huh.
you. I was literally at the doctor today talking about it. Yeah,
Ah.
so I take some medicine and then see, that looks just like my toe. When I looked that up, I was like, are you kidding me
So
right
you
now?
went into the doctor and you're like, guess what I did? I'm switching from Taco Bell to McDonald's.
to McDonald's, baby. McChickens.
Is there a food that you can eat that does that, but to your penis?
Yeah.
'Cause
Oh, that would
would
be dope.
Gives it a lump on one
Give it
side.
a lump.
It's hey, more mass. More mass.
Gives it a little bit more. a little more.
Sorry about the lump on the side.
I
had a
feel like
steak
most
earlier
people
today.
who have a lump on one side of their dick are frantically trying to
Yeah,
figure
they're
out how to
probably
get rid
trying
of that. I'm not gonna
Not
lie.
adding lumps.
Yeah, I think adding lumps to your dick is
my lovely penis lump.
Yeah, my lovely
Check
dick,
it out.
that's yeah. That's
Dicky
I
lumps.
think that's what Fergie was actually
Yeah.
singing about.
dick lumps.
Dick lumps.
Lumps?
Lumps.
Dumps. My McDonald's meal lately has been a spicy. I'll do 2 spicy McChickens.
too.
Add
That's
cheese.
for your health.
Yeah,
Adding cheese for your health.
Add cheese.
Okay.
Water. And a water.
And a water.
And I don't know. It's been my meal. I don't really like fries. I like 4 of them, and then I'm like, this is too many.
Yeah, I feel
And then I
that
feel
way with
pressure
fries
to
a
eat
lot
all of
times
them,
too.
and it's like, no. I just want someone else to order fries and just give me let me have the ones that fell
you just
into
want
the
a
bag.
couple, just a taster.
Just a taste, maybe
Yeah.
enough to I don't know, throw in my sandwich. Paul, what's your McDonald's?
Wait, hang on. You're putting fries on your McChicken?
Yeah, why not, dude?
I mean, I don't know. Seems unconventional.
Yeah, have you ever
Sounds pretty good though.
have you ever put the breakfast hash brown on the breakfast on?
Oh, yeah, I've
McMuffin?
made-
amazing.
yeah, no,
I've never thought of that.
You've never
You never
done that?
done that?
No.
Oh, I've
so
done that.
good.
I'm so mad at myself.
I've made,
for
like-
never doing that.
I've made like breakfast sandwiches at home with hand shredded potatoes and done that
Yeah.
as a component. Yeah, no, that is
Yeah.
good.
Egg
Fair enough. I'm not
McMuffin,
gonna question.
Add the
Add the hash brown.
the hash brown to it.
Holy hell!
It's got like a cool crunch to it. It's awesome. Paul, what's your McDonald's order?
Oh man, I would have to say that it's gotta be a quarter pounder with cheese and bacon.
Ooh, you go bacon.
Yeah, it's, what I love about the quarter pounder, which I've only really appreciated in the twilight years of my life, if you will.
Once your palate
When my palate
really
is
matured.
matured now. It's like I appreciate fine wine and quarter pounder with cheese.
You take one little bite and you go.
Yeah.
Not just
And just kind of.
not just the hamburger.
This
Do you
was
smell
cut-fed
it?
cow.
Do you smell it first?
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to get the nose
Yeah.
before you get the.
I take my pinky and get the meat feel.
Yeah,
the meat feel.
The meat feel for it, and then
And then you go on the
That's
sauce.
the right
and you're
way,
just
yeah,
like,
you have to-
This mustard,
and then you
tremendous.
take
This
the
is a
oil and just, like, on the
2023.
Oh, like it's Coke. You're
Yeah,
like
yeah. Just do a little.
a little
Uh-huh,
ketchup
yeah.
to the front of the teeth.
Rub it on your gums.
No, a quarter pounder with cheese.
Mhm.
The grease on that burger is delicious. It is so freaking good. And I know, and it's not one of those burgers that's like what people think about messy.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it's like when it's just hot, fresh off the griddle, and
Mhm.
it's just got that layer of grease on it, where I know one drop's gonna fall if I don't put a napkin underneath it. That's good. That's good. And if that drop happens to land on my hand, I will do a licky lick. It's just really good. So yeah, quarter pounder with cheese, fries, and a sweet tea.
Okay.
Sweet tea.
Yeah, it's my
And
nickname.
Eliza's not here, but Hatfield knows what I know what Eliza's
sure do. No, I'm
order
not gonna
is
do this.
because we went on a trip and we had to stop a lot at a McDonald's every day. She gets just a sweet tea.
Just sweet tea.
Just
That's
sweet
how
tea?
she starts
Just
her
sweet
day.
tea. That's how she starts her day.
Yeah.
And you know what? Actually, that's pretty awesome. Like that's a great because like Starbucks are kind of hard to find. It's kind of the perfect. It's actually a really good.
Yeah, and it's a buck.
It's
can get-
$1.
you can get a large
Oh, yeah.
tea for a buck.
No, I
it's
fuck
good.
with McDonald's coffee.
Mhm.
They're just like regular coffee.
Yeah,
is
it's good.
pretty good coffee,
Yeah.
and it's like what $1 or
Yeah.
50 cents.
Yeah.
Even their
For
lattes
any
are
size.
cheaper than a Starbucks. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really.
They tend to
do
be a
their
little sweeter,
lattes.
though.
They're
The
like
lattes are
solid
super
sugar,
sweet.
so I just do coffee
But
with cream in
milkshakes are
it.
fine.
Milkshakes are good. I don't do
Can you throw
sugar.
a shot of
Here's the
espresso in
thing,
a
I'm like-
milkshake or like a
You'd
McFlurry?
rather spend the calories on something that you enjoy.
Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to keep the sugar out of shit where I don't need it,
Yeah.
so that I can completely
Yeah.
overdo it on all
yeah.
the shit that I
So you
like.
can go Caligula on a milkshake.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I like
Yeah, no, it's not like I have a sugar-free diet. I'm a sugar fiend. I just like don't want it in drinks and shit because I'm like
No, the sugar I think I understand. Or the soda thing I understand. I try not to.
17 grams of sugar. Yeah, I'm full
Dude.
of shit, guys.
I like
That's
I
all
like
there
this
is to it.
unsweet Steez tea that you got me. Thank you. Very delicious.
I'm a fan of Steez.
Yeah. Is that like stevia? Is that what it means? or
No, this has real sugar in
Oh,
it.
okay.
I think
Steez?
it's ST, like TEA. It's T.
Oh.
So I think they put letters around the word T.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they called it
okay.
Steez because I think did they listen to a rap song
We
in
believe
2007?
in a new, I'm reading it like Steezy, bro.
This is
Oh.
Steezy
We believe
tea,
in a
dude.
new brew of tea, one steeped in. Oh, that's what it is. Steeped in tradition that refreshes mind, body, and soul. It's like
Dude.
open up your chakras. Nothing
Yeah, this
opens
is-
my chakras like Steez.
I
Like
like
Steez
Steezy.
nuts. I wish it was Steez nuts. That would be amazing.
They should come out with another line of snacks, and it's all
Steez
various nuts.
I have
Steez nuts.
that'd be funny.
I would buy that. I would
What
buy
are you
that
eating
as a
there?
goof.
Steez nuts.
Steez nuts. I would buy that and give it out on Halloween so that a bunch of kids could say Steez nuts to their mom and dad.
Oh, that would be a great promotion.
That'd be fucking hysterical.
for your. What were you gonna say, Paul?
Oh no, nothing.
Nothing. Do you have a segment for us?
Oh, would you guys?
I want
like
to. Let's do that
segment?
segment.
Okay,
Heck yeah.
so we're gonna talk a little based on Nick's love. I put together Love It or Hate It, Hackers Edition.
Oh boy.
So going along the theme of viruses and that kind of stuff. So
Mhm.
we're gonna do a little pop culture.
Ooh.
So we're gonna look at a couple of famous movies that were based on computer viruses and hacking and software.
Ooh. I hope Hackers is in.
So we're gonna talk about them. We're gonna have a little recap, and you guys, whether you like it or not, if you haven't seen it, just based on the description, if you love it or hate it.
Can we do a real quick before? Because it'll probably come up. Favorite hacking computer movie?
Does Silicon Valley, the TV show,
Yes.
count?
We'll take
What's yours?
Oh, okay. Skip me. You go.
Okay. Swordfish. Duh. Come on. Let's go.
Okay.
I've got a follow up as well. Office Space. I
Office
think
Space.
Office
Oh, yeah,
Space
that's a
counts.
computer movie.
Okay. So my favorite, is The Net.
The Net.
The
Oh
Net
yeah.
With Sandra Bullock.
With Sandra
Oh,
Bullock.
I've never seen
Oh,
that.
it's so good.
I haven't seen
It's
most movies.
so early '90s computer
It's-
hacking.
Okay.
Where
hackiness.
Yeah, where
that
they're just like.
it's so good.
They're just
And
like,
they're just like I don't know what are they
And
typing?
it's like the green,
Nothing.
It's like the green screen.
yeah, it's like black with green letters, and they're just like, like that, and then he's just like, I'm into the mainframe.
Yeah.
And they're
Oh,
like, what?
They're tracing me. They're tracing me. They're tracing
Yeah.
me. It's like
Ooh,
so,
I see the picture. Enhance.
Enhance. Boop, boop. It's gonna be like 5.
And then suddenly
keys.
it's like 4K resolution.
Yeah.
Before that was even a thing, and
Yeah.
you're like, okay.
Enhance.
like when those CSI shows like take that picture and it's like that much of a face and they're like, hold on, enhance, and
And it's like,
the whole
and
thing.
it's
like
just a guy sitting
clear
there like,
picture.
Okay.
It's like they did not find focus. Like my autofocus messes up.
Yeah, you're like, no,
All right. Well, here we
Okay.
go. You guys ready? Love
Yes.
it or hate it, Hackers Edition. So the first movie is
Swordfish. We know where I'm at already.
Oh,
Love
okay,
this
so
movie.
love it.
You didn't see? Have you seen this movie?
nope.
All right.
Halle Berry shows her boobs, and it cost $1 million for that one shot.
Nice.
Can I say something about this movie?
Mm.
It didn't get. So funny thing about this movie, it came out like right around 9/11, and so it was like pulled from a bunch of theaters. They had to change a whole bunch of scenes because there's literally a scene in this movie where there's a bus that's being held by a helicopter, because and going across a city, and it literally runs into buildings, and it was just like the timing.
It's a little too on the nose.
It was just a little
They were
bit too
Like
like,
in New York.
and it was like in New York. It was like, I don't know if it was the World Trade Center, but it might have been.
Well,
and they
there
had
were,
to
like-
change it.
I
There's
feel like the World Trade Centers got destroyed in like a lot of movies leading like before 9/11 because they were such big prominent buildings
Yeah.
that any like dystopian movie of an attack,
it just.
I feel like they were bombed in like movies.
And I remember on the it was either the VHS. I don't think it was the VHS. Maybe it was still a VHS. 2001. We still
2001 was
rocking?
definitely VHS.
Still VHS.
Still going
and then,
strong.
No, 2000. That was also where you could have
DVD.
HD, DVD,
Oh yeah.
VHS, Blu-ray, and DVD.
No,
All-
Blu-ray.
Blu-ray was
Blu-ray was
no,
about 2005.
6. That's because
The
that was when I was in
PS3
college.
The PS3 came
Oh yeah, the
out.
PS1 was when DVDs got.
Yeah, so DVDs
2.
were late 90s, right?
Then the 3 was when Blu-ray came out, and yeah.
The
Oh,
PS3 came out in like 05, and it
Yeah.
played Blu-rays, and that was all the rage.
Yeah,
it was like
'cause it was
new
the
tech.
cheap- And it was the cheapest Blu-ray player. That was everything. So they undercut all the other Blu-ray players.
Wait, was
So-
it? It was $600 when it was new.
Yeah, but that's how much the player was
Jesus
too. So it was
Christ.
like, well, you might as well get the PS3.
Yeah, because you
God,
could
that's so
game on it
funny.
too.
Anyway, back to this.
Yeah.
Back to this movie. I also do remember on the VHS, we'll say, copy, there was a big warning that was just like, people who are sensitive about 9/11 may not like this movie. Like there was a big sticker, almost like a parental advisory sticker on it. And it made me want to watch it more.
Oh, yeah, of course. Just like a parental advisory sticker.
Like, they're like, and
Sold
also
the
Halle
movie.
Berry's tits. Like,
Yeah. But yeah, this is Gene Hackman. There's a scene in this where he's hitting golf. He like works, I don't know, like by oil rigs or something. And he's just hitting golf. He's like shirtless, hitting golf balls into a whole bunch of oil rigs. And it's like out of like off the top of his mobile home. It's
Nice.
kind of badass. Like,
All right, I want to watch this movie. I'm going to say love it. I've never seen it, but
you would like it.
it's really good.
Okay.
It's really, really good.
Swordfish.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna read this. So I will add the website I got this from because I don't have it, but it was fun how they described this. So Swordfish is a campy popcorn movie edition that begs the question: who was in charge of makeup and hair for John Travolta's character? Pushed to the limit by a rich, powerful, and ruthless crime lord, computer hacker Stanley, Hugh Jackman, joins in on one of the many heists to make billions of dollars from unused government funds.
Ooh.
Along with the original concept of this underground cyber community, Swordfish, the coding in this movie looks fairly authentic and visually appealing.
Also in his like getting the job to be like this high level hacker.
Yeah.
Oh, I
He-
remember. I remember.
he like I forget if he like hands him a laptop. He's like, break into this to the CIA website, and he's like, you have this much time or something's gonna happen. And then he has this girl go down on him while he's doing it, and he's just like he's like trying to hack, and he's just like, oh man, he's like, she's good, right? It's just like so ridiculous.
You have to watch this movie.
Okay.
It's like they have his daughter or something like that, and so he has to hack it really quickly. It's one of those.
All right, ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Tron.
Ooh.
1982. So I'll just read it real quick and then we'll talk about it. So another 80s classic to add to the list. Tron brings an interesting digital tale of adventure to life with some dated special effects and an electrified film score. Betrayed by an executive of the company he works for, computer engineer Kevin Flynn, Jeff Bridges, is mysteriously transported into the master control program after attempting to hack into it. While the special effects may be a bit silly in today's world, the color palette and styling of the scenes is what makes this movie as special as it is. So,
I appreciate it.
I'm going to go love it.
Ooh.
I haven't seen that
Yeah.
either. But, I mean, it's Jeff Bridges and terrible 80s
yeah,
special
a
effects, so I'm
classic.
going to be in.
you have to watch it. It's a classic.
Is it?
It's really slow.
Oh, okay.
It's old though, so
Yeah.
you got to just remember that. Like,
Yeah.
if you do watch it going into it, it's a little bit like, and then of course the visual effects are kind of dated.
I love cheesy visual effects.
Okay.
So it's like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure level
Yeah.
of special effects.
Well,
Yeah,
this
that
was
shit's
revolutionary
fucking
at the
hilarious.
time. Like, it was like pushing boundaries.
Yeah.
On what was possible, and I forget how they did it. It's something with like black and white, and then recoloring it, or like,
Yeah.
it's cool. Anyway, I would say love it. I think I just really like sci-fi movies.
Yeah.
Is where we're at.
And
with
if
it.
you guys look closely enough too, the colors of our show are actually the colors of Tron.
Ooh,
So that's pretty interesting.
Look at that.
accident or Easter egg?
Or are we in a computer
I
simulation?
think we are.
I'm a robot.
Give the next slide. I'll be right back.
All right. So we'll get into the next slide, and I'll read while Bjorn's running to get a fill up. War Games. So War Games 1983. I'll read this. So the oldest and most nostalgic movie on this list is War Games, an 80s classic that serves as a fine addition to the catalog of 80s sci-fi movies. A young video game and computer enthusiast named David, Matthew Broderick, unintentionally hacks into a military central computer thinking it's a computer game, causing military mayhem at an international level. Since this is the most dated of the movies on the list, the hacking is portrayed as a very basic black and green screen with normal vernacular to keep the audience engaged. So, War Games, love it or hate it?
I remembered really liking this as a kid, and then rewatched it, and I hated it. I'm gonna say hate it. Yeah, no, thank you. No, thank you. Doesn't hold up, Mr. Broadwick.
It doesn't hold up. Is it just like, what's dated about it?
I don't know, dude. I'm just trying to be more dynamic and
I mean,
interesting.
okay.
I just love all of these movies.
Yeah, I'm going to go love it on this one, too.
Let's be honest. I can't.
This
I can't.
sounds hilarious.
I like it. It's ridiculous. I love.
You got
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
I
think
tried. I was
I
like, I'm
think
gonna
it
make a
sounds great.
decision.
I want to
and
watch
try-
all of these movies. I haven't seen any of these, but I'd be down to watch this. I love that. I will say, I bet in the 80s it wasn't that hard to hack into everything
Mm-hmm.
because that was like the beginning of like when people could
Well,
hack into shit.
Yeah.
Well, and like government stuff, it was a lot of these old school guys that were just like nerds, like
Yeah.
nope. Like it's a bunch of people that like still want their letters printed out.
It's all analog with buttons.
Yeah.
As opposed, it's like, yeah, print all my email because I refuse to use that nerd shit.
Yeah,
You're like,
exactly.
all right, dude. No, everyone uses email. Stop. Stop it.
Yeah, they're
retire already.
Oh God, still true. Anyway, yeah, I'd be curious. I wonder. I mean, also a black and green screen in 1983. I think that was the pinnacle of technology, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Like, I don't think they had. When did like a regular looking computer come out? It was like late 80s.
I would say like
a graphical user interface.
Yeah.
Like when did Windows come out?
Well, no, isn't
The
it
original
the
Windows.
Apple the first
Apple
one
II?
to have the mouse?
that clunky mouse.
Yeah, that was the original graphic user
Yeah.
interface.
So like 87,
GUI.
88.
Yeah, that was late 80s.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
it was late
sure.
80s.
Yeah.
So-
And then it never was that successful, was it, that Apple computer? Like,
Okay.
Apple didn't get successful until they made an iPod.
Yeah.
Wasn't that kind of their big
Well, no,
turning
they,
point?
They had
No.
some computers. We had
They had
them
like
in
the
high school.
iMac, like the
They
colorful,
had
those
really
colorful
colorful-
TV
mhm.
looking ones.
Yeah.
But I don't think those things were that mainstream.
No, I mean that was like a weird time for Apple. I
Yeah.
don't really want to get. I mean, we could get into the whole history of it. For some reason, I know it.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
it's because like every freaking self-help book that you read, there's a goddamn chapter about
Steve
fucking Jobs and
who
the
came
shit,
to Portland
how he like
and
oh,
went to Reed College
he
for
got-
a year doing acid.
he got
and that's-
fired from his own company, and then he went and started Pixar, and then they bought him back, and then he saved him with the
with the iPod.
with the iPod, and then he revolutionized that by being okay without by making a product that gets rid of his own biggest product.
I'm sorry. Who are we talking? I've never. What was the
Steve
name?
Jobs.
I don't know.
Actually, that's the one thing with him
Mhm.
that I am impressed with is that he was so forward thinking that because when they saw when the execs saw the iPhone,
Mhm.
they were like, no, that's going to be the iPod destroyer. They saw that happening. And
Yeah.
he's like, well, let's be the ones that destroy our own product, our own market.
Yeah,
And,
they were
and went for it.
Yeah, and it's
And
like,
it's like, that is a hard thing to do. That's like literally like your most profitable product and you're going to destroy it. Anyways, okay, let's move on. I
fair.
can't talk about
Okay.
shit like that.
no, that's
Next.
interesting, dude. Yeah.
Next one, and I believe it's the last one. And to be fair, there was about 20 on this list. I just I had to like narrow it down, or else it would have been like a whole hour. Sci-fi. All right, next one. I think this one's the indie film that you guys might not know too much about, but it was pretty popular. It was called The Matrix.
Ooh, the Matrix.
Matrix. I
The
think
Matrix.
it's French.
That was that math movie, right?
The Matrix.
The Matrix.
So, for those of you at home that have never heard of this before, one of the best Keanu Reeves movies, The Matrix, is an action-packed hacker movie that transcends
Who's
reality.
Keanu?
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 Keanu.
Keanu
Revis.
Revis.
It looks like it's pronounced Keanu.
Keanu. It's
Keanu.
Keanu. I think it means like wave or something.
Keanu.
Yeah.
Known for his way around the
I think
computer.
it's a game you play at casinos.
Yeah, for-
Keanu.
Keanu Kino. Sponsor
And it's just the Matrix.
The Matrix. Keanu Kino.
Keanu.
Um,
Kino.
So known for his way around a computer and a mysterious prophecy, Neo, Keanu Reeves, has his eyes open to the truth that his entire life has been a simulation created by an AI hive mind, famous for its unique style and story. The hacking in this movie is a lot of zeros and ones on screen, but is gracefully translated into intricately choreographed action sequences with impressive special effects. So that's The Matrix. Do we love it or hate it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so good.
Great movie.
Nice.
Oh,
I've actually
man.
seen it.
Nice. There we
Really?
go.
Dude, if I've
Was this
seen
the
a
only
movie,
one that you've seen
yeah,
out of this
of
list?
those four, yeah, this is the only one. I haven't seen it in a while, and I actually didn't remember that was the story. I remembered the pills, and that was about it.
Yeah,
I remembered there was action, there was pills.
Yeah, it was hacking.
He was in an office at one point. That's
they were
about
being
it.
hacked out of the system. If you will. So interesting.
Yeah, I gotta watch these hacker movies.
So I think that concludes the. Of course, there was a lot more. Hackers was one of them.
Special shout out to Hackers. Have you seen that one?
No.
There was this whole thing where they would like get free phone calls, and that was like a big part of the movie. They could hack. It was something about the way they dialed, like they used the dial tone to like get free phone calls.
That one had Angelina Jolie.
And it had Angelina Jolie. And who's the main guy? Can you look that up? It's not. I can't remember who it is. There's like, I don't know. Anyways, that one's pretty good. Kind of doesn't hold up, I feel like. Who's the main? Yeah, that guy. Who is that?
Which one? That guy?
Yeah. I don't know. He's like some heartthrob guy. I was thinking it was like Dawson for some reason.
Oh, click on the DVD box, wouldn't it tell?
Well, if you click on the IMDb.
Oh yeah, that's even better.
So Johnny Lee Miller.
Okay, I don't remember.
Matthew Lillard.
Oh, that's right. Matthew Lillard was in it. Okay, that's where my brain was going. That's right. Matthew Lillard. He was in Scooby-Doo, and he was also in Scream. Oh yeah, you don't watch movies.
I don't.
So yeah. So lots of great hacking movies, and also a great hacking book or virus book that we need to. I'd love to know what you think about it at the end. I'd like to borrow it from you.
Yeah,
that sounds pretty interesting.
It is. It's a solid book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Anybody have anything else? Yeah. Park better. just
Just
takes a little effort. Like think about beyond yourself. If you take anything from this podcast, think a little beyond yourself.
Just remember kindergarten coloring
You're not
books.
The only person who's
stay
parking
in the
this
lines.
lot. Yeah. Park inside the lines. That's why they're there.
Yeah. That's why they make you color in kindergarten.
Yes,
They're
so
teaching you to
park.
stay in lines. And now the lines apply. It's so like, when will we use this of coloring books?
Yeah. Paul, do we
That's
have
what
any
it is.
sponsors or anything?
No sponsors.
No sponsor
today.
this week?
Sorry,
Okay.
I've just been waiting for some of them to. Oh no, somebody just got back to me. So yeah, we do have a sponsor.
Oh, okay.
Pornhub is introducing new protection. So since you're not going to get a virus in the real world because you're jerking off too much, you might get a virus on your computer. So buy the Pornhub protection. It does protect against stuck necks, which is the newest virus that's out now.
It's
So Pornhub production out now. Be sure to
the
subscribe.
condom of
It's the condom of the internet, if you will. So the condom
It's
of
a
the
web
internet
condom.
It's a web condom.
It's a web condom, if you will. Web condoms. For sale now.
Web condoms.
All right. So we talked about Nick, who loves Countdown to Zero Day, and Bjorn, who hates people who park bad. Thanks for joining us on the Love, Hate, Laugh show, and be sure to check us out on all streaming platforms. Like, subscribe, check out our Instagram, TikTok. We're on Threads.
And if you listen on Spotify, we do poll for each one of these episodes. We want to hear what you think about if you love or hate one of the things that we talked about. So get on there and do that. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.